Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for the while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. I'm doing this, folks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of that snap. That was a sexy snap. Ain't no two ways about it. But anyway, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on. I'm going to blather. I'm going to do all kinds of stuff. There's going to be hand motions involved and stuff like that. Like I'm, going over there and directing some sort of air traffic situation. Do those guys still have jobs? I don't know. Like, I'm fairly certain they do, because, like, I'm sure that's still important. It's just, you think with, like, computerization and stuff like that and everything, maybe it's not as required. But I don't know. I don't fly places. It's not even like, oh, but Brandon, why don't you fly places? Because I don't really go places. Like, I live in a good area where a lot of things that I want are, they come to me. But anyway, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm inside my truck, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, why I wear super cool shirts? I like to highlight super cool shirt. Super cool shirt I'm wearing today. Boom! It's my Sleepwalker shirt. I love my Sleepwalker shirt. Sleepwalker is a very obscure Marvel superhero. It came out in the early 90s. Actually had a close to a 2-year run. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. I think he got 19 issues and then also had like a holiday special. So, but unfortunately, whereas some of his peers, like, your Darkhawks, to a lesser extent, your Moon Knights, came out a little bit earlier than the 90s. But, they still managed to kind of peruse and be part of things. Yeah, Sleepwalker, man, it was just like, yeah. Which is a shame. He's such a cool and interesting character. And honestly, if he's used properly, like, within the context of, like, his actual power scheme and stuff like that, like, he could be amongst one of the most powerful characters on, like, a team like the Avengers or the Defenders or something like that. But I'm just saying, I love me some Sleepwalker. I think he's badass. But anyway, what am I reviewing for y'all today, folks? What are we doing? Maybe I'll do an entire show just talking about obscure Marvel superheroes. I'm getting back into comic books a little bit. Just a little bit. I love comics. Back in, like, my early to mid-20s, I was, like, comic book obsessed. I was just hitting up my local shop as often as I could. As I got older, I didn't have as much time to really indulge, and, I kind of fell out of it a little bit. But recently, I've been just like, yeah, you know what, I want to get back into comics. But that doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing, because we're doing, boom, it is Skippy peanut butter, no need to stir, natural peanut butter spread, 80% peanuts, with honey, creamy version. It is no preservatives, artificial flavors, or colors. It's 200 calories, saturated fats, sodium, 140 milligrams. It's got fibers, 5 grams of sugar. It's peanut butter with honey in it. Peanut butter with honey in it. I don't know how long this has existed, if it's a completely brand new product or if it has been out for a little bit and I just didn't know. I don't keep up to date with peanut butter news. This made me so happy because for years I've been saying they need to have peanut butter and honey as a pre-made mixture. Why? Because I love peanut butter and honey. Now I know what you're saying, Brandon. Well, Brandon, what about peanut butter and jelly? Peanut butter and jelly's fine. Okay? Not ragging on it. I'm a peanut butter and honey guy. Okay? I love me some honey. My dad got me into it back when I was a kid because he used to make me peanut butter and honey sandwiches for my lunch. And at first I was like, Dad, this seems weird. And he's like, just eat it, I pay the bills. And I was like, fair enough. And I ate it, and I loved it, and I still love it. And now if I want some peanut butter and honey, I go over there, I just take a spoon, get some peanut butter. I live alone, so fuck you, I do what I want. Pour some honey on it, and just fucking straight there. So, this makes it easier for me. As long as it's at least relatively on point. I don't think it's going to be as good, because of course the benefit of doing it yourself. Straw! Or not straw. There is a straw in there, but spoon. That's what I meant to say. One of the benefits of doing it yourselves, you can pick the peanut butter and pick the honey. But let's open it up. It looks like that, and as they said, there's no need to stir. It doesn't look like it's been like it's separated at all. It smells like peanut butter. which, to be fair, ooh, it's very creamy. I haven't had creamy peanut butter since I was a fucking kid. My dad was all about the chunky. And then eventually I got into it because I got older and I was like, yeah, fuck it. It looks like this. Can we get a thing? Ha 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 ha. Let's try a thing. They did a much better job than I thought they were going to do. It actually tastes really nicely blended together. It's, folks, if you've never tried peanut butter and honey, I cannot recommend it enough. It's creamy. It's extra sticky because obviously the peanut butter and the honey. So, make sure you got a drink nearby. Do I have a drink nearby? I don't. I'm breaking my own rule. I drank all the drinks that I had in my car with me today. That is like it. Something with like the sweetness of the honey. It kind of like brings out some extra nuttiness, and it's like a bit of a sweetness, savory kind of thing. And it works so well. And you can tell the addition of the honey, it's changed the texture of the peanut butter. Because even though it's creamy, this is like extra creamy. It wants to melt in your mouth. I shall try to describe the flavor while eating it, which might not go well. Super creamy, nice and nutty. It fades away. And you get this nice, very creamy sweetness to it. And it's not overly sweet. That's the thing that works so well with it. It's just accentuating the whole experience. Now, it's different than if you're doing it with your own thing, because, you can adjust how much honey you want and stuff. Plus, typically, if I'm doing it, I'm not mixing it together. I'm just putting it on top of the peanut butter, the honey on top of the peanut butter. So it's a more distinct honey flavor, for sure. But this is basically what it tastes like once it's been in your mouth for a little bit. It's had the opportunity to kind of blend together. It tastes very spot on. This, I'm down with. Maybe not 100%, but like 98% down with. Now, why am I not 100% down with it? I like this a lot, and it appeals to the lazy side of me, which, to be fair, it's a pretty good side of me. So I like that aspect of it. And I'm surprised at how good a job they did and how much I really kind of was expecting it to be like, okay, it's kind of reminiscent, but like, no, it really does hit. But fundamentally, if I want to do it proper, doing it with honey of my choice, peanut butter of my choice, is always going to be a little bit better. You're just going to get, a stronger hit of honey, or, maybe less if you want less, but I tend to prefer a little bit stronger hit. You're going to get, a greater variety of flavors, because, like if I'm using honey, a lot of times I'll use like some really solid honey. I did a honey review of all natural honeys. Go watch that review. But two questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yeah, and yeah. It genuinely exceeded my expectations by a pretty wide margin. And it hit for me. It hit the right way, man. It was, it tasted like nostalgia, but at the same time, it's not just the nostalgia. It's not just me being a kid eating lunch at school, Trust me, that wasn't always the best part of my day back when I was in school. But it works. It's actually a nice blend that I feel is reminiscent of what it's supposed to taste like. Even if, I probably would stick more to the stuff of my own creation, because again, I can just kind of work with it a little bit more. But if I didn't want to do that all the time, and sometimes I don't, I think this works really well. As for recommending it to people, if you already enjoy peanut butter and honey, you probably have your own mix way that you like it. But I think this works as a good substitute, in case maybe you just don't want to go through all the effort. On top of that, if you're somebody who hasn't, this wouldn't be a bad place to start. This might work as I apparently have a guy coming by. All right, well, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to have to sign off, folks. See you later. Sorry, I don't get to do my outro. There's a guy on my property. Bye!